This is Miami All Access.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome into This Week in Miami Golf. Steve Baker, along with the head coach of the Red Hawks, Zach Zedrick. Miami participating in the Pine Tree Invitational in Kennesaw State, Georgia, over the weekend. Finished seventh, Coach. I know it's not the kind of tournament you wanted to have.
No, and there were certainly bright spots. You know, first event we had two guys in the top 10 with Scott and Pat playing well. But yeah, you know, it's just, I don't know. And disappointing. I'm kind of first and foremost just not happy with myself because ultimately, you know, we weren't ready. You know, we had a couple guys that were ready, but we needed five guys to be ready, and we weren't, and that's on me. So Pine Tree is a very different golf course, and, you know, knew that. And, you know, on my end, it's probably a little bit more of really kind of being in the guys' ears a little bit more about, you know, the greens here, it's Bermuda, we knew that, but it's like it's going to be very different. And the greens are going to be very fast, and teams come down here, and it's easy to struggle the closer you get to the hole. And we got out there Monday morning, and it was just, you know, it was like first time putting on fast greens. And, you know, but it wasn't. And we struggled a little, but we kind of rallied toward the end of the round. And we were really, you know what, in decent shape for most of the day. It was really kind of second place, third place, really bad 2.5 hour stretch of golf as a team, and then we're in eighth. And came out, didn't play great yesterday, played okay, not great as a team, and you know, we moved up a spot. It was definitely a little harder, and some teams really struggled out there. And we moved up a spot, but it was, you know, yeah, just not what we wanted.
Is it you know, at this point you're late in the fall campaign, but also you're playing again on Bermuda for the first time. Does it become a lack of concentration where you're just not really focused? You know, as you step to the green, you know it's fast,
right.
But you know it's.
Well, you know what? That's a great question, and I think it can be a lack of concentration. Not in that it's like, oh, I don't care what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, you know, sometimes golf can be an accumulation. Golf can be an accumulation of experience, and if you go out there and you get going, you get off to a good start, and things are going well. You know, you get into kind of a tough situation, and it's easier to manage. You get out there and you hit a 20-footer that goes about 6 feet by, and you weren't expecting it, and then you miss the next one, and then that kind of gets you a little frazzled,
right.
And then you've got a 40-footer on the next hole, and it's like, wow, I've got no idea what's going on,
right.
And it can kind of feed on itself. But that's why we talk so much about really trying to use something like that just as information and not let it chip away at your confidence. And, you know, for a few of us this weekend, it really, you know, a couple of those early moments really stayed with us longer than we wanted to. So you're right. It's not a lack of want to. It's just kind of letting some of those bad shots or unexpected things that happen kind of get in the way the further you get into a round or get into a tournament.
Got to live for the experience, through the experience,
Yeah.
but you can't let it
Right, yeah.
build up. And let's talk about the next tournament. You go down to Estero, Florida, in the old Corkscrew Invitational. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so you know what's good is it's going to be a very similar golf course. It's you know, it's a Nicklaus design, big. The type of grass that we just played on the greens is Champions Bermuda. It's a type of Bermuda where there's some grain, not as much as typical Bermuda greens, but you can get them going very fast. And it's going to be similar to, you know, down there to what we saw this week at Pine Tree. We've seen it before at Talus Park this past March, you know, last season. So the guys do not want to end the fall on, you know, a similar note as far as how we played it at Pine Tree. So we've got a chance to go down. We got some experience on Bermuda. You know, I think we're going to be spending a little bit more time short game stuff. We get down there Saturday. I think there's going to be a little bit more of a short game focus while we're on site, just getting comfortable with the different shots and the type of grass, how the greens are running. Very good field. Florida, I know Florida State's in the field. I think they're actually number one in the country right now. Florida's going to be there. It's a good field. good golf course, and a great opportunity for us to in the fall on a good note.
Finish strong. Absolutely. Well, best of luck.
Thanks, Bake.
That's Zach Zedrick, the head coach of Miami Golf. Stay tuned. We're going to talk with Scott Cahill next. Want to remind you, follow the Red Hawks all weekend long on the Old Corkscrew Invitational. You can get all the information, follow along on MURedHawks.com. And we're back in our Red Hawk player profile once again with Scott Cahill, best finish of Red Hawk golfers at the Pine Tree Invitational over the weekend. And tell us about that tournament. We're talking with Coach, and a different surface, Bermuda grass as opposed to bent grass, and it can throw you for a loop at times.
Absolutely, yeah. It takes some extra time to get used to the Bermuda grass. Growing up in the Midwest, practicing in the Midwest, playing most of our tournaments in the Midwest. So it's an extra thing to think about. Spend a little bit more time on our practice day, and maybe a little bit extra time in the warm-up, and you got to take a little bit extra time when you're out there playing.
Well, a lot of golfers on the course, and you finished at 6. Patrick was the second highest finisher. We talked a little bit about confidence on the course and maybe concentration on the course when things start to go bad. Not letting it bother you. And you want to learn from that experience, but you can't let it hang in there.
Right. Yeah. It's on a course like that where we played down there at Pine Tree. It's with out of bounds so close to the fairway, there's really not a lot of room for error. So the focus has to be there regardless of whether you had a bad hole or the bad shot just previous. But that's just the game of golf. Everybody's used to it. We all know how to handle ourselves, and we'll learn from this, and the guys will try to move on, and we'll try to play better and win next week.
Is that one of the things that you kind of mentally just say to yourself, okay, got it, don't let it bother you the next hole?
Yeah, you just stay confident, you trust your preparation, trust all the hard work you've put in. You just go out there and swing freely.
All right, let's talk about this week. Final fall event. You head down south to Florida, Estero, Florida, the Old Corkscrew Invitational, another Bermuda grass course.
Yeah, another one down south. It'll be good. We'll have a few guys down there that will play their second week in the row on the Bermuda greens. And we'll try to help everyone else out, bring them along on the practice day. But everyone's been down there before. Everyone's played in the south. They know how to prepare and how to handle themselves.
Last fall event, how do you as a senior see this fall for this team as you start to think about the spring and obviously looking for a MAC title, that sort of thing? How do you see the progress of this team?
It's been phenomenal. The team has played so well. We've had several good rounds, several chances to win, individually and as a team. So we want to finish on a strong note. We've moved our ranking up significantly. So we've got one last chance for this fall to put ourselves in a position in the spring to make a run, not only for a MAC championship, but then to a regional and to the NCAA championship.
Well, Scott, wish you the best of luck, man. Good luck this weekend. And again, Miami will be at the Old Corkscrew Invitational. That's in Estero, Florida this weekend. And you can follow and get all the results on MURedHawks.com. I'm Steve Baker. That's This Week in Miami Golf. Thanks for watching.